Hello, Pawfam. Today's power topic is the format of the debate. In debating, two opposing teams compete with one another. They aim to convince the adjudicator and the audience that their viewpoint about a given topic is more reasonable and justifiable than that of the opposing team. About the teams. There is a chairperson and two opposing teams, an affirmative team and a negative team. There are three speakers in each team. It is the task of each team to prove its own argument and disprove the opposing team's. The rebuttal and conflict are the important elements of the debate. The affirmative team proposes the motion and supports the topic by citing facts and examples, while the negative team opposes the motion and tries to disprove the argument of the affirmative team by presenting valid evidence. Teamwork is essential to ensure forceful and effective debating. This involves brainstorming of the topic by individual members, pooling of ideas and analysis of the topic to form the foundation of the argument, assigning various aspects of the argument to individual speakers as to ensure a structured and logical approach. The debate speech. First, you have to formally greet the chairperson and the audience. In the introduction, clearly refer to the definition and the topic of the debate. In the body, make approximately 3 points of this definition. Facts, statistics, and quotes may be used to support your viewpoint. And refute your opponent's argument forcefully. You can conclude with a summary of the argument and appeal for support from audience. The format of the debate. The chairperson. The chairperson is the leader of the team. He or she introduces the topic under discussion and the various team members. When it is time for a speaker to speak, the chairperson introduces him or her. The timekeeper. The timekeeper ensures correct timing. Under or over timing may be penalized. The first affirmative speaker defines the topic and introduces the basic line of the argument of the team by supplying examples and evidences. The affirmative speaker also prepares the way for his or her team members and reaffirms the team's standpoint. The first negative speaker briefly attacks the affirmative's presentation, accepts or edits the definition accordingly, and summarizes its standpoint and presents the basic line of argument of his team. The second affirmative speaker debates the definition and may amend it. He or she briefly rebutes the argument of the negative team by focusing on its flaws, and restates and develops the argument of the affirmative team. The second negative speaker briefly attacks the line of argument of the opposite team, and develops and completes the argument of the negative team. The third affirmative speaker reviews both sides of the argument by comparing them, and rebutes the argument of the second negative speaker. Finally, the third affirmative speaker rounds off his team's position with a powerful conclusion. Same goes to the third negative speaker. The third negative speaker refutes the argument of the third affirmative speaker, reviews both sides of the argument, attacks the argument of the opposite team, and defends and sums up the position of the negative team. The third negative speaker is not allowed to bring any new material. The adjudicator gives an overall judgment and feedback to each team and announces the winning team. Knowledge of the adjudicator's criteria will help you to plan and structure your argument. The adjudicator bases his and her decision on content, manner, and method. More about it in the part 2 of this video, so stay tuned. Thank you very much. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you have learned something new today.